Hello, everybody, and we're back live again on the air. And we move right over here outside my backyard, and we're going to talk to a coach that is going to be in the battlefield across the way in East Tennessee Saturday night as he'll go in to take on the Alcoa Tornadoes, and he is the head coach of the Blackman Blaze, head coach Kit Hartsfield. How you doing today, Kit?
I'm doing great, Stork. Thanks for having me on this evening.
Well, it's good to talk with you, Coach. It's good to. How's your summer going?
Oh, it's going good. You know, it was an extended summer, of course. So it's going. We got a new had a little boy.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to
Just about a
say.
week ago, and things have really cranked up around the house, and got going with football June 1. So it's been great. Couldn't ask for any better.
Coach, as you mentioned, I've talked to Coach McDaniel. It's been he was talking about just trying to do whatever they need to do, and talk to Rick Rice. I've talked to Will Kreisky and everybody, and of course you can't scrimmage anybody. So kind of talk to us a little bit about what you've been doing over at Blackman, and just trying to how after you got the green light to go, kind of what you guys been doing over there. And of course, got an experienced quarterback that you'll be sending in Friday night, and I'm real excited to see him again. And talk to us a little bit about your team and what's been going on.
Yeah, just in preparation for when we started June 1st, we were very grateful to get to do something. Although a lot of it was regulated, I was able to focus on small groups, individuals, weightlifting, and skill development and things like that. But we weren't allowed to compete. So coming back in July, it was kind of the same, but a little bit bigger groups. And when we got the green light for contact, we just kind of had to hit the turbo button a little bit and practice a little bit longer and try to make up for lost time. Shuffle people around, try to find the right pieces to the puzzle in just a little bit of time. With what we got coming back, and Drew Beam is a experienced quarterback, of course, so that always helps. And offensive line, returning 4 or 5 starters has
Wow.
been kind of relaxing.
Yep.
Considering the circumstances, it'd be a lot tougher if you'd lost your whole offensive line and they haven't got to practice.
Oh, it would be going into game one with the limited time. Oh my goodness, yeah. When you
Yeah,
get,
so
I mean, that's a weapon. So you got 4 or 5 guys that are seamed up and got a quarterback, and he's in command. So now let's talk about what you got in the backfield.
Yeah, Andrew Hudson Jackson was
Yep.
spelled Antonio Malone last year and did a great job. Made some big plays in those big games early, and he's kind of been waiting in the wings like most Blackman tailbacks have to do. Charles Gaunt's a junior, smaller back, scat back who's explosive. So we got Andrew. I'd consider experienced, even though he hasn't got a ton of carries. He's been involved in the first team reps for a lot of his career still, and I think he's primed for a big year. So at receiver, a couple of corners come over to help our quarterback out, and Todd Lark and Mark Cooper.
Oh yeah, I like Todd Lark. He's got a set of hands.
Yep.
And so, defensively, how are you?
I think we returned D lineman Chris Harden as a starter, and Titus Kirby Reach is a defensive end who's a senior who played some minutes last year. I would say our most notable returners with experience is Cooper and Lark at corner, Alex Garrett at safety, and Elijah Smith at outside linebacker.
He's
we
good.
returned 4 or 5 guys there, and we're a little bit green at inside linebacker for the first time in a long time.
Yep.
And not being able to have contact in competitive practices have slowed that process of development. But we got a lot of guys there that are hungry, that are chomping at the bit to play. They just don't have the game experience. So we got potential there. We just got to kind of let it go and see what happens.
Well, I saw where Helen was over there shooting some pictures of some practice, and she always gets a lot of nice shots, and you guys working out and everything. What do numbers look like at Blackman High?
I think we're at about 102 on varsity. Um, we have 102 players on the varsity. We've got about 30 freshmen. Um, so around 100, 130, 135 in the entire program. So numbers are good.
Yeah.
Attendance was great all summer, despite the circumstances. Kids were ready to get out and do something. Be kids again.
So, were you all at I talked to Rick Rice a little bit earlier, and only like 1,000 students decide to stay home. What was that like over? What's that number look like at your place?
Yeah, I would say we're right at about 1,000 at Blackman.
Okay.
Creeping up on 50%, I would say. I don't know our exact number of students, but I think we're over 40. For the distance learning, and that's a little bit of a challenge, but our county, it does allow them to continue to play athletics if they do distance learning. So there's positives and negatives to both.
Yeah.
They may miss some weightlifting time, but they may be less likely to be exposed to a random student in the classroom as well.
Right.
So some things they can't control. But I didn't really have a preference on that.
And you
at
can,
all, so.
and really, you got to be careful with that because it's at this point, kid. You don't know if you're in the right or in the wrong, and there ain't no sense getting a bunch of lawyers involved and say who's right and who's wrong and why.
Right.
Well, and why a kid that is going to stay at home can't play football, or you do have to come to school to play football, but that sends us over the level of, you see what I'm saying now? Does it get into only the people that come to the high school can be involved in sports? I mean, you're starting to get into some things that, it's got a lot of hairs on it, and you don't want to get there, man. It could get you. So you don't.
Yeah.
The
teachers are prepared.
Yep.
The kids can learn in either situation of their choice, and for whatever reasons that they have them. There's studies out there, and college football programs. Athletics. Is huge and keeps them tied up. Oklahoma football team just took a break and came back with 9 positive cases after they let the kids go home, when they had no cases before that. So I think it's the right move to let them do distance learning and still be a part of athletics, because they're actually safer than having that extra 4 or 5 hours of free time.
Absolutely. Well, and it's we'll just, what, we won't know because we don't have a sampling, and we won't know what a kid's education is, or who turns out to do what, or what's the right way. We don't know. We've never done this, so we're just going down the road almost just, we are literally flying the plane with the manual in our hand, and it's day to day, and so all right, let's talk about travel. That's an interesting subject we bring up. We're all going to Alcoa, so me, Judy the Beauty, and Mike Eady, we're all going to ride together, so we're not riding in separate vehicles. I mean,
right.
So what do you guys so what's that look like? Do we're just riding on a bus, I guess, or what's the deal? What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, there's modifications, regulations. We cut the number of kids on a bus in half.
Okay.
Everyone's got to wear a mask.
Okay.
We have to take twice as many buses. So the cost of travel is going to be up a little bit. And attendance is going to be down a little bit due to regulations. But, to me, it's worth it for a kid.
It is.
He's been working his tail off and fundraising and been at every practice to get to be a part of that Friday night. And, if they have to wear wear a mask because we have too many to be 6 feet apart or whatever, we'll wear a mask and do that. But, I think everyone's kind of getting used to this, and will do anything they can to make the season work.
Well, and I think we need to, I'm going over to Rockville Friday or Thursday night, and was talking to Coach Rice, and we need to be, as he said, be cognizant of everything, but also understand that people say, hey, where's your mask, or do you have one, or if you see somebody without one, or don't just start running up somebody, and push them out of the gate or whatever. You got to just be careful with what you're dealing with and work with it, because it is going to be different. But I think if we're patient enough and we all work together and just watch out for each other and be, we'll get along and do well.
Yeah, I mean, people want football really bad outside of the kids. So, if they have to wear a mask and get their temperature checked to get in the game, I promise you, 100% of the time they're going to do that.
Absolutely.
If
Absolutely.
they care about it.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the reason why, you saw me and I was not trying to be, but I was asking, is there an ordinance or is there something we got to go by? Because I didn't want, our Mr. Spurlock to be saying, okay, you got to get your temperature taken or whatever, or, well, I'm going to go ahead and take it before I leave the house, but also if you want to take it again or whatever, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do what we got to do before we get there, and be ready, because I don't want to have to be shut down when I get at the gate. So, because I don't have any business being there to begin with. But, you know what I'm saying. But
yeah,
I'm really excited. We got a great card. We're going to be at Rockville Thursday night, and then we're going over to Oakland and going to do Oakland and Hendersonville. And then we're going to get on the road early, and we're going to get over to Alcoa, and we're going to talk to the Hall of Fame coach here in about 25 minutes. We're going to talk to him on the air. So, so it looks like you got a good squad. Special teams, you okay, Coach?
Hey, that's one of those things, not having the scrimmage is just, you don't know a lot.
Everybody says the same thing about special teams and not having that scrimmage, yes.
Yeah, we got a senior kicker and punter.
Yeah.
I'm confident in. But, until you get those live reps and things. There's just a lot of mistakes you make in scrimmages that you get to fix before the first game, and you got to try to limit those mistakes as much as possible.
What are you looking to take? 70 guys? What are we taking Saturday? 70, 75? What are you taking?
How many players?
Yeah.
We're taking everyone.
You're taking everyone?
Yeah, we're taking 4 buses.
Taking 4?
4 or 5 buses.
Are these regulars or just charters?
Regular.
Okay.
Regular. Yeah, I'd love to take charter, but we're going to lose. Everyone's going to be hamstrung financially this year.
Yeah.
Because everything still costs the same to have a game or go to a game, but the income's cut to a third.
Well, and they have expenses
at least in
too.
most places. So
and
charters would be great, but I'd say several of those would be about $15,000 or $20,000 if you got 4 of them.
Well, and speaking of them, they have expenses too. You I don't want to get on a bus unless it's sterile, and and they have to make sure it is, and they have a risk, and they're taking on insurance to put, besides the insurance to haul you, now they've got an extra added insurance on top of it just for the COVID to keep them from being sued. But I think there's a law or a bill being passed that they're trying to in the state of Tennessee that says we can't sue each other as far as businesses. If I go into Wendy's and I get a cheeseburger, I can't say, well, the people at Wendy's gave me COVID. Well, you just
right.
I think we're going to stop that here real soon. I think they're working on a bill about that right now, and I hope we get that done. That'll help. But other than that, Coach, anything else you'd like to say? We will, of course, be headed your way. I'll need a roster on you soon. I'll be in touch with you.
Yep.
But I'm going to South Carolina, so we won't see each other Thursday. But I did want to get with you for a minute and just see if you wanted to talk a little Blackman Blaze football and everybody coaching wise. Any changes there?
Yeah, Coach Meadows has been here a while. He's the offensive coordinator now.
Okay.
And ask Coach Rankin, if he's going to let you sit on the home or away side.
Is there a
Press
difference?
box.
Is there a difference? I mean, is there a difference in electricity or something, or
I don't know. I think one's taller than the other. I think you get a better view. I don't know. I've never been there, but based on a few videos, you'll know where you're at on the totem pole with Coach Rankin.
well, I tell you what, I've got the best camera. I've got the best, I may not be the best announcer in the house, but I will say I'll have the best camera operator, and everybody knows that.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
she definitely will be holding it steady and be there, and we just can't wait to be in the house. Anything else before we go, Coach?
No, that's it, man. I guess it'll be your live streaming, right?
Yes, I'll be live streaming. We'll get the link out and everything, and we'll pump that out early and let everybody know so you can get it to your fans and everything. And we look forward to seeing you. And other than that, I guess I'll see you Saturday night in Alcoa, Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
All
Thanks
right.
for having me.
Thank you, Coach. See you. Bye.